Hello again. Testing. Now I see the orange record button. So it's live now and recording. So if you will join, I will ask you for permission to be recorded. This is Tea Party Media on Digital Town Hall, powered by Heartland. And I am Martin Lindeskog. And today, talk about Leonardo da Vinci, his birthday today. So on April 15th, and then also about art, the importance of art and World Art Day, and also some thoughts about art in general, and also like introspection here for me, how important art is. So I will do really a live thing, and I have pinged some individuals that I have been in contact with and have joined others live events, and as I'm doing this for the long run here. So I will continue on Saturdays. I know I could say that directly, that maybe it's not so-called the best time for everyone. This is 3 p.m. Central European time. I call it Saturday siesta. So when you often you sleep, and I have done that here, taking a nap, power nap. And in warmer countries, probably in Spain and Italy and so on, you're taking a nap. But siesta is also that you could do some light activities or some hobbies or social gatherings also, and having a snack and so on. So it will be focus on the good life. As I say on Tea Party Media, I want to spread better ideas when it comes to new media, business philosophy, and the good life, including tea. Cheers. And when I did a reminder announce this event, this is on a, by the way, on a calendar, so you will see next week, next Saturday, I planned an event on National Record Store Day, like a fun thing, celebrate recordings and vinyl and music. So I will often find and like what's happening in history or some holidays, so-called made-up holidays, or some other things are important around that day. But it could be other things also coming to play. If you go to then Tea Party Media, and it's tea-party-media.heartland.com, where you will find it, and you could join there for free. So again, I will continue on this on a regular basis, and of course I could do it on different times and to test. I know that I have friends in California that is wake up early in the morning at 6 a.m. and they could join, and also on the East Coast I got from a note from my co-host Blair here, Blair Scofield. It's funny how about names. I pronounce it right. Sorry if I butchered your name, Blair. Of Secular Foxhole, and where we talk about art. And I could start in that end, and I will write it down here as a thing. So to do thing, and now we'll hear a pencil. Romantic manifesto. Romantic Manifesto by Miss Rand. I will start rereading that. I will see if it's an audiobook also, on an ebook. And because that's been a very important book for me to understand the value and the importance of art in life. I often say it's like the giving you soul, or giving you energy, giving you fuel, batteries for your soul, the art. And you see this, for example, artwork, painting, image, statue, listen to music, reading a book, and you get fueled and get giving energy and see how it could be in the world in a positive way. So I will write that down. And today I'm also now showing off here a T-shirt and that I got from friends Camilla and Bengt-Åke Harrison. I had been at a conference, Objectivist conference, and it is promoting and celebrating 50 years since Atlas Shrugged was published in 1957, and this was in 2007. So this T-shirt is about 16 years old. So that's why you see the with print here. It's of a train and a railroad and so on. I don't want to do a spoiler alert, but the backdrop is about trains. You could say what is important philosophy included. And one of the masterpiece there by Rand, and one of my favorite books. So books, literature is one part of the art world, and I haven't done so much looking at World Art Day. I think it is United Nations or something behind it, and I have my opinions about these agencies and organizations. But it could be a good thing to remember and remind people about the importance of art. So I will include that in the show notes, you could say, for this episode, as it is recorded. And maybe this could be also like a follow-up, and we'll do an episode of Ego Netcast podcast also. So that's one thing, so I will write down that World Art Day. So World Art Day. So how do you celebrate this day? Did you know about it? And what's in your life, your daily life, when it comes to art? So I have, for example, behind me here by a fine artist, John Cox. So he's done fine art, and then also editorial cartoons and cartoon strips, and also banners and logotypes and so on. So that's something I've been thinking about because it's a skill to learn to become an artist, be a painter, sculptor, composer, and so on. And it's not really for me, but I really enjoy it, that you have these individuals in the world doing that. And there you have one important thing in Rand's work about the composer and what's happening with his, you could say, appearance. Something to think about. What will happen if artist will stop creating? And then I want to focus on the positive thing, but then we have this so-called modern art or trash out there, and all kind of strange things going on. But that's reflecting the society and what's going on in the world. And that's coming back to what's your favorite art. So I'm asking you that. What's your favorite piece of art? If you own it, or if you have seen it at the museum, or maybe, as I have with some, you could have a postcard. And now I'm getting memories here from when it was a talk, a presentation talk, and a workshop, you could also say, by a friend that came to business cafe and center and presented the importance of art. And now the name disappeared for me. I'm sorry. I will remember the name. I saw a post on Facebook. He's now very much into to biking and so on. And I will come back and find it. And sorry for getting your name. But he had a great presentation and talk about the importance of art. And depending on your situation, it could be your space. If you don't have, maybe you can't have a gallery, or the money issue, because it could be pretty, expensive to buy a artwork. Then, of course, you could have reproductions and copies and so on. I had that a poster of, and there, that's my favorite piece of art, and that's Aristotle's Aristotle School of Athens. I think it's the. Oh, see if I. This is really live to write and talk at the same time. Aristotle's Schools of Athens, and I have a friend right now who's in Greece, in Athens, and I saw standing in front of a great structure there, and monument, and building. So that was fascinating, inspiring to see. And I think it's Raphael that had created this piece of art, was a Renaissance artist. And this painting for me, and I wonder where you could see it. Is it in Italy? I have to check that out, because it's a painting of a big thinkers. So you have Aristotle on one side, pointing down to the earth, ASA, reality, and then you have Plato sitting beside him, pointing up to the, you say, cloud, to the heaven, to second dimension or something supernatural. He has this saying like, this is a pen, but this is a copy of a pen, of an original pen. Here you could say in the Viking land in Denmark, by the Vikings, Norse. And then it says, because I've seen a Wikipedia entry about it, it says the different characters and the profiles in that period of time. He has placed them either on Plato's side or as Aristotle's side. So like if our supporters or fans or belonging to that side, you could say. And he has painted himself on the side of Aristotle. So for me, it's getting the idea, philosophy, and the ideas of the world at that time, and that's important today also. We see that today, that like versions of Platonism in today's world, in modernism and so on, and still there are hope and the Aristotle's ideas. Now I'm jumping back. I read a book called the Journey, Aristotle's, what is it called now? Now it's with this name, but it is how Aristotle's ideas have traveled through history and countries, especially, for example, in the Arab world back in the day, and how it survived, and how his books are, in a way, different orders. So it was metaphysics and whatever. So it was bits and pieces here, and to get it together. So, and there we have talking about that. Then we have a conversation with Robert Beagley of the Secular Foxhole, talking about Greece and the importance of that, and Aristotle's ideas there. So, School of Athens by Raphael is my favorite piece of art, because it's so condensed. I'm getting so much in it, and I would like to study it more in sometime in the future. So, and here now it's around 50 minutes. I have some that said that maybe they will join, so I will see if it'll come, and then otherwise I have to watch the replay here. So with that, I will see here. I will send a short note to my player. I know that he's live event on Haaland. So, but maybe he's busy. So yeah, it's about the time and doing it. But I will do, as I said, do it on a regular basis. I think for me, it's to take some weekend break, some reflections, talking about an important subject. This is again about my work, my ideas, my interest, my passions, new media, business philosophy, and the good life. It's also to test out the technology and the service and see how you could create content in an easy way and how you then could curate it, use it in different ways. So I will have on my site, Tea Party Media, that you're like a sponge, that you like this material. You could almost say this is taking up sound, but especially this one is a professional one to take it to you and consume it, analyze it, think about it, use it different ways. The senses, using the senses, thinking about it, applying it. And that's, again, as an ending, you could say, I will do pretty short and sweet episode here. I've said that around 30 minutes, but it's fun, of course, to have a discussion and conversation with others. So I will see if I could find that a comment that I got when I announced this. So to really doing this again, having a thread here. And that's why when it's good to prepare, but it's also live is live. Now I record it, so now I could see all my bloopers and others and so on. But that's my role in a way as a new media advisor, to inspire you to start, for example, a podcast. And then I could support you. I could tell about the technical side of it, the production, the preparation, how to come up with ideas, how to market it, and how to develop it in different ways. And I will come up, with that soon again. And I will also doing my, as a cat person, eating my own dog food, create content here today or during the weekend. A new episode of podcast of Tea Party Media. But I'm talking about the new service called PodFan. And there you have it, a circle here. Back in the day, in the Renaissance, you have a mecenat, if you pronounce that, the rich individuals who supported the artists so they could continue with working. And how you do with that today, for example, with music, how does a musician earn his or her living? And how could you support them in different way if it's a value for you? So there it comes to this value for value model. And with my work, how you could support me, for example, send a bit of a Bitcoin called Satoshis, going to like the site getalbi.com, and my username Lyceum, and then you could send Satoshi. What I see, it will take time to get it, to understand it, and to use it on a regular basis in your daily life. But it will come. So, and I think that's it for now. So I will take another sip of my tea here. Cheers. And we'll see here if I got that was another, yeah, this was another message. But on, is it on Facebook or was it it was on LinkedIn. I posted it. I have my thoughts about that also on my weekly planning, and I said that what I will do the course with Carl Polain on planning and how you could write content and create content on different platforms. And yeah, so now I took a photo of a second steeping of a Yin Yun Mei, a black tea, and when I posted it on Facebook, I did it as like an what to say, a happening, a moment, then on LinkedIn and also on Twitter. So let's see here. So Karina Redenius, my co-host of Presentation Skills Q&A, she said, when I posted, now it's Meta, what are you doing today? I'm enjoying the second steep of Jin Jun Mei black tea from House of Tea. And thanks to Peter, or not Peter, Johan Gustafsson that sent me the sample, my co-host of Produktivitet. At 3 p.m. I will commemorate Leonardo da Vinci's birthday and talk about art on my live event at Tea Party Media Digital Town Hall, powered by Heartland. And then at 7 p.m. I will do more tea. I will learn what you could do with the broken bits and pieces and plus dust of tea from Suzette Hammond of Suze, her nickname, and of Being Tea. And before I go to bed, I will go through Carl Polain's International Planning course, I said. And there I got the comment by Karina Redenius that I will read. Many years ago, I visited Leonardo da Vinci's birthplace in Vinci. So is that the name when Leonardo da Vinci has this town or village or place taking the name after him, or was it before that? Before he was born? In Toscana. A fantastic place. Amazing that this little village with this humble house in the valleys of olive trees could develop this outstanding painter, scientist, and thinker. So thanks again for sharing that moment and experience, Karina. I really looking forward to visit that place one day. And there you have it also that he's scientist and thinker. So he was an entrepreneur. And I have a memory there from an exhibition in Gothenburg. But it was like a different kinds of things that he have done. And it was mainly, I think, on inventions. So, for example, that he come up with a helicopter and other things like coin making. I think I got a coin there in copper or brass, like a memory thing. So, and then it was, of course, this of man, this famous one that you see, a man standing. And yeah, it was all kind of things. It was very giving you inspiration and see what he have done during his lifetime. And also this interesting thing when he wrote in the notes, so note to self in his book, how he also did the reverse or mirror writing and codes and so on to protect his inventions. So that was interesting to see also. So yeah, I'll see if I could find that when that exhibition was in Gothenburg. And also I have a book about his, could say, memory technique and coming up with things and writing. That's like having a thinking mind like Leonardo da Vinci. So yeah, it's so now when talking about this I'm reflecting about this importance of art and also how I could do that on a regular basis again to get fuel for your soul. And for me, lately has been like music and reading and listening to audiobooks. I haven't watched or seen or visiting like galleries or art exhibitions so much lately. And I haven't bought any like reproductions or copies of artwork. And maybe that's a place in the near future. And when you have plays and like theater, it's more thing. And I'm open if you have any ideas what you think could be something new to learn and to get again as a fuel for your soul of a sunlit world and see what's possible in the world. And I wrote that as one of the hashtag romantic realism. So again, I will go back to the book Romantic Manifesto and read it again, reread it, and also check on this World or Art Day and see what's that saying or promoting, and that will be like a topic for the future. What's going on in the world and how art is really condensing it and giving it a reflection of that, how the situation is in the world. And then going back to the roots, to the school of Athens, Aristotle school, and see this painting. So yeah, it's nice to having this chat with myself and reflect on the things. And hopefully you will enjoy it and give me a positive feedback loop and book the calendar for next week on Saturday. We're talking about the recordings, records, and vinyl, the record store, and there you have for many it's the importance of music there. So it will be interesting to talk about that. And yeah, so with that I will say again, cheerio here with a sip of tea. Cheers. And I will do my third steeping with this Jun May black tea and see how it tastes. It's fascinating how you could this, as we call it, Johan Gustafsson and me on our podcast Produktivitet, the tea economy with fine tea. It's pretty exclusive, costed a bit at least, but how you when you could brew it several times, then the economy and the value for it and per cup, it's not so much, and it could be something that you enjoy, and that's got me thinking about art. It could be an investment. You could then enjoy it for a long time, and also if you have access to museums, and maybe you have tips on that. I know Carina Redenius have talked about that you could watch virtually and online and really walk around at the museum. I think it's project by Google, but I'm not sure. I haven't checked that out yet, but I should do that. And it will be interesting if we continue the conversation, but you add your 2 cents. I would talk about this, and you could comment on this recording when I post it, and also on this event, because it will be saved like past events, and then we could also talk in the different rooms about it. So that's a thing, to have a digital town hall that you could come back. So with that, I say thank you and cheerio, and talk to you soon again. Have a great Saturday siesta.